I'm not a difficult guy. Also not when it comes to reeds. This is so difficult.
Why? It is so hard!
As you probably know, I'm a big fan of Chris Potter. I know I mention Chris Potter a lot, but I really dig the guy and his playing. Here's a short story from about 10 years ago. At a Chris Potter concert in Bimhuis in Amsterdam, I saw him playing the first set, you know, the first tune and the theme. After the theme, he looks at the piano player and takes the first solo. He walks off stage, takes off his reed, going downstairs to the dressing room. He emerges from the dressing room again after 2-3 minutes, coming back with a new reed, and he starts to play. Obviously, he was frustrated about the reed he had put on before coming on stage. So what is a good reed? A good reed is the one that makes you feel comfortable playing and which gives you the most resonance. The reed needs to make it easy for you to play. So what's easy for you? And that differs a lot from person to person. This is the reed test. Oh, this was a good one. I wish it was this easy, but no. Coming up are questions for me and specific questions I see coming up a lot in different forums. I'm gonna talk about how I prepare my reeds and unboxing a super exciting package from Rigotti Reeds sent to me. I'm really excited about the unboxing, so let's get on with this video. Why are all the reeds in a box different? The short answer is wood. The long answer, wood grows differently, influenced by weather and wind, every day. The process of testing and finding the reed that is 100% you is so crazy personal. So one reed in a box is just not completely the same because of the wood, and just a tiny thing doesn't fit your cut. Further, there's a big difference between the reed which you just played, the old good reed, and the new reed which just comes out of the box and is just really nice and fine. The new reed is probably very much harder, even though it's the same number as the previous reed. So what's a good reed for me? A good reed is what I mentioned earlier. One that plays easily and one that gives you a good sound. But there are a few rules. When you start out on saxophone, it's advisable to start on the lower number reach. 1, 2, 3. Because your embouchure muscles needs to be trained. They are not used to the light pressure you actually put on the reeds for a long time when you play. An intermediate player would probably step a little bit up in the reeds to a 2.5, 3, 3.5, maybe a 4 even. And an advanced player, well, that differs from player to player because you've been the whole row through from beginning to intermediate. When you're advanced, you basically just fit what fits the mouthpiece, your saxophone, your whole apparatus. So very different. Ask people what are they playing and what level are they. My setup. On my soprano saxophone I play a Selmer Super Session F hard rubber mouthpiece, and my reeds are 3.5 blue Van Doren. Not that heavy a setup, but on the soprano I kind of dig the sound I got. On my alto I play Van Doren A6 medium chamber and blue Van Doren 3. This is a very flexible setup, both good for jazz and good for pop music. This gives a lot of possibilities in both styles. On my tenor I play this old metal Otto Link refaced mouthpiece from I don't know what to 7.5 opening 103. And at the moment I'm using Roberto's Wind reeds, number 4 medium. How do you know if this reed is good for you? Well, you don't. Reed testing and finding the exact good reed for you is an expensive hobby. I'm really sorry to say, but there are no shortcuts because it's so individual for person to person what reeds, what fit. For your embouchure, for your mouthpiece, for your saxophone, for your breathing, it's so individual. Basically, it's just a lot of trial and error. There are a few rules though. As in jazz, most rules are going to be broken anyway. So I often look through the reeds through a light. Looking at the top edge above where you can see the light through, you see there's a lot of light through or there's less light through. I like reeds when they have this tone form, And sometimes other reeds are playing well too. So the more light you see through, the softer the reed is. But, and yes, there is a big but. This rule is great, but the only rule that actually is does it play for you or doesn't it play for you? Golden reed starter tips. Once I had this book with all my reeds mentioned in it. Numbers of reeds, tons of numbers, and all the reeds written down. What is the number, what is the brand, what is the number of the reed, and how hard do I find it from 1 till 10, give it in a number. I was writing all this down to get a really good overview of what I liked and how I work with reeds. I don't do this anymore, but it's a really good idea to do because you get a really good insight for yourself in what reeds do you like, what sound do you like, because you start to listen to the reed or the saxophone playing in another way. At a certain point you get this process automated. Now I basically have these 3 reed holders with numbers from 1 till 10, and then I stick the reeds I'm using into this row of numbers 1 to 10, and mostly I'm playing the 7 or 8, sometimes a 9. It's not the hardness, it's just like how much I like them, and I mostly like the number 7 and 8. Another tip, before you start playing, put the reeds in a glass of water or soak them really well in your mouth on your tongue. If you're going to test a lot of reeds one day with the whole package, well, I really advise you to put 3 or 4 at a time in water because you get such a dry mouth when you're playing. When the reeds get soaked, they absorb a little bit of water and they are much easier to play. Ask in forums, for example on Facebook, and there are 100 ways to do this, and there are 100 opinions, many thousands of opinions on how to do this. So you can quote me on this, but everybody have their own way. I did the glass of water thing and it really works for me. The unboxing! I am really excited, I must say.
I'm so excited.
I've never done an unboxing before on video, so I'm really excited about this, and I'm really excited to try out the new reeds from Rigotti. Very excited. I am basically now opening the box I got from Rigotti to see what Eric from Rigotti Reeds sent me. You see that this box is from Rigotti in France. I really recommend you to see Metcalf's video for better sax on Rigotti Reeds. I put the video in the comments below, so check the video on how Rigotti is making their reeds. It's amazing. I'm opening up and I see alto reeds, I see some gold and some wild, I see some tenor reeds, and the Rigotti gold 3.5 and 4, and there is the wild reeds too. I'm crazy excited to try this out. See, they're really nicely cut, these reeds, with the light. Okay, let's soak some in water and get playing. So what I think of the reed, the 4 was a little bit too heavy for me, but they have a very, very nice wood sound. This, yeah, I don't know how. Gets a little bit mellower. Oh, the 3.5 is really this bright sound, and at the same time you have this great wood core sound. This is nice. My favorite for now, I didn't even check the alto reeds, I only checked the tenor reeds. So I checked the wild and I checked the gold 4, the wild 4, and changed to Rigotti gold 3.5. And the Rigotti gold 3.5, boom, that's my kind of reed. wood core, very bright, open sound. And it's really responsive. High and low, really in the height, it comes out. It's really sparkly. Thank you, Eric, so much for sending these reeds to me. I'll get back to you. These are really, compared to the reeds I'm playing, this 3.5 gold reed, boom, very, very recommendable. I'll go for this anytime. But see, I had to go through 4 reeds before I was finding the one that's fitting me. So again, you know, it takes time, it takes effort. But Rigotti 3.5 gold, that does it for me. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Rigotti. If you want to find the Rigotti shop, find the link in the description below. 2 questions for you. What are the best reed brands you have tried? And what brands of reeds are you playing at the moment? Add it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Then we can discuss reeds. Do you have questions about this topic? Let me know. I would love to talk to you about your setup and your reeds. So let's go. Comments below. Your support, like, shares, subscribes, all welcome. Just do it. Love to see you out there. See you next week for a new video. Play music and have fun.